20 years ago, you just saw that mom almost always got primary custody. Are you still seeing mom more often than not get primary custody?
Well, everybody kind of defaults to that, and they say, well, mom always gets custody. Well, in where we are today, in your typical household, mom is what we call the primary caregiver, right? We don't deal with a lot of situations where we have a stay-at-home dad. We still see a good bit, although it happens, we still see stay-at-home moms who had a career, gave up the career, raised children. And so in that situation, it creates a default. Mom is probably the primary caregiver, and mom is probably going to have some degree of primary custody, absent some sort. So that's what sort of perpetuates that notion that mom gets custody. But what I try to tell everybody is we need to stop viewing custody as a zero-sum game. And people in divorce always view it as every one day you have is one day that I don't. And it's really not. With the kids' schedules these days, my parenting plans all say that both parents have the right to be at all the children's activities, practices. So, I mean, we're really literally now just talking about where the child's head hits a pillow. I mean, you know, it takes two parents to get the children from school to their activities, home from their activities, homework done. All of that is a two-parent role. And if both parents are willing to step up and be involved in that, I mean, you could be somebody who doesn't have primary custody. Let's say you have my Thursday to Sunday schedule or Thursday to Monday schedule that I described, and you still see your kids 6 days a week because you go to their baseball practice. You go to their baseball game. I mean, you're still, you know, seeing them constantly. And so it really is not the zero-sum game that people want to make it anymore. It's a schedule that is centered around what's best for the children, and candidly, how do we get them where they need to go? I mean, we design schedules around activities. I mean, child has tennis practice on Tuesday nights. All right, well, dad lives next to the tennis center, so let's put the kid with dad on Tuesday nights. I mean, you know, we're just trying to be more practical and proactive in these schedules rather than just slap down. All right, here's the standard default schedule. Y'all go live with it.
Yeah, I always think there's so many children of divorced parents now that the one quality you will definitely, I think, see in these is adaptability. They're like trying to get ready to go to dad's, trying to get ready to go to mom's, sometimes different school districts.
Yep.
You know, they live outside, you know, with one parent outside their school district and have to be brought in, and then they're taking the bus. They are going to be very adaptable and resourceful, I think.
And very resilient. I mean, they just roll with it. And, you know, look, the reality is in where we are today, just as a society, you're talking about a situation where 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, maybe they had 4 friends in their class who had divorced parents, right? Now, it's going to be half.
Yeah.
So they're not the only one dealing with
Right.
this. So when they're talking to their friends and saying, oh, I got to be at dad's tonight, or I got to be at the kids, that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily a great thing that this has become a normal, but it's normal. They're not the odd kid that, oh, you don't live with your mom all the time, or you don't live with your dad all the time. They got friends that are all in this exact same scenario, and it's just normal. And so there's no stigma, there's no off-putting, there's nothing unusual about being that kid, and so they just bounce along with it.